Goldfinger was great at dealing with scale as well, and that he could understand that designing a building was different to designing a door handle, and that there was a sort of sensitivity not just to scale but also to the sort of tactile qualities that are different in something that you wrap your hand around as opposed to maybe smooth your hand over, like a wall versus a door handle, for instance. And I think, yeah, he had an eye on that in a way that not all architects do, and it's something that I always feel is very important. And it's reminded me of this quote from an interior designer I read that suggested that money should be spent in interior on the objects that your hands come in contact with, things like taps and door handles, etc. Because of this thing, it's where your body contacts the building in a way and feeds back information that gives you a sense of feeling. So I'd had this idea that had originally started out as an idea for a coat hook that was going to be cast in aluminium, and as we started working on it and drawing it up and it evolved, it quite quickly became more interesting to try and do it in plastic as an injection moulding. And we talked a bit about when we first met at the National Trust about that his interest in early plastics, which was still emerging as a material then, but hadn't really come to. Plastic technology has travelled far since then, but it was in its early days then, and it was much less accessible, whereas now it's much more accessible. Yeah, so the idea of a coat hook was an interesting idea in that it's a wall-mounted coat hook, or that you would screw it to a door or similar. But the idea was that it was a small product that was very kind of definitely thought about and formed in the way that Goldfinger would with a door handle. But it was attached to the architecture, so it was like a kind of intervention within the building that would be discreet and respectful, and sort of hopefully fit in, even though it was a different thing. We've chosen a colour that will be made. We're going to make an addition for the National Trust just in one colour, which is a red that we've picked out from the house. That's a sort of accent in some of the paintwork. But even in any other colour, and the fact that it's plastic, it would still feel at home in that space, in that environment and atmosphere, was the idea, or the hope.